veteran Civale's trade request has sent ripples through the Milwaukee Brewers organization and caught the attention of baseball fans across the league. The right-handed pitcher, known for his command and cerebral approach to the game, is reportedly seeking a fresh start after a brief tenure in Milwaukee. While trade requests are never easy for a franchise to navigate, Civale's decision highlights the complexities of player-team dynamics, performance expectations, and long-term planning in today's MLB landscape. Civale arrived in Milwaukee with hopes of stabilizing a rotation that had undergone several changes. With a track record of steady performance and flashes of brilliance during his time in Cleveland and Tampa Bay, the Brewers saw him as a valuable mid-rotation arm who could eat innings, limit walks, and keep games close. He brought with him a reputation for durability, maturity on the mound, and a pitch mix that relies heavily on deception rather than overpowering velocity. But things didn't go exactly as planned. Since joining the Brewers, Civale has faced a mixture of challenges, some mechanical, others mental. His command, usually his calling card, has occasionally wavered. In high-leverage situations, he's struggled to finish innings, allowing rallies that snowballed and inflated his ERA. The Brewers' coaching staff has worked closely with him to address inconsistencies, tweaking his delivery and encouraging more aggressiveness in counts. Still, the results have remained uneven. At the same time, Milwaukee's rotation has seen the emergence of younger arms eager for a permanent spot. With competition from prospects and the organization's desire to stay flexible financially, Civale's role seemed less secure. Reports suggest that while he remained professional and committed, frustration began to mount behind the scenes. He wants a chance to contribute meaningfully, to be counted on as a regular part of a starting rotation rather than feeling like a short-term placeholder. The trade request, reportedly made through Civale's agent, comes at a time when the Brewers are hovering around .500 and trying to assess their identity for the remainder of the season. Are they buyers? Sellers? Something in between? Civale's request could help bring clarity to that picture. For Milwaukee, this could be an opportunity to flip a veteran arm for a younger piece, someone who aligns more closely with their long-term competitive window. From Civale's perspective, a trade could open the door to a better fit. He's a pitcher who thrives when he feels trusted and empowered. Landing with a team that's thin on rotation depth or one making a playoff push in need of innings could be the reset he needs. Several teams come to mind as potential suitors, the Cardinals, who are battling injuries in their rotation. The Orioles, who could use a veteran presence, or even the Mets, always on the lookout for reliable arms. Making a deal won't be without its challenges. Civale's value is complicated. While he has shown stretches of effectiveness, his recent struggles might limit the return Milwaukee can expect. Still, a change of scenery often revitalizes veterans like Civale, and teams may see this as a low-risk, high-upside opportunity. If he can return to form, he becomes a bargain acquisition. Brewers management has been relatively quiet publicly, but insiders suggest they are open to honoring the request if the right offer comes along. The front office has a history of making practical, forward-thinking moves rather than reacting emotionally. That approach could serve them well here. They'll want a return that either addresses a current need, possibly bullpen help or infield depth, or a prospect who could bloom in the next couple of seasons. Teammates have voiced support for Civale, calling him a steady presence in the clubhouse. His professionalism and preparation are rarely questioned. While he's not the most vocal leader, he leads by example and commands respect. The possibility of his departure leaves a hole, not just in the rotation, but in the clubhouse culture the Brewers have worked to establish. There's also a broader context worth considering. Trade requests, while not as common in MLB as in other sports, are becoming more normalized as players become more attuned to their career arcs, value, and fit within organizations. Civale's move isn't about dissatisfaction with the Brewers' culture, but rather about wanting to make the most of his prime years. That sentiment resonates across the league, especially as pitchers face increasing workloads and risk of injury. As the trade deadline inches closer, Milwaukee will likely explore multiple options. Whether Civale is moved in a one-for-one swap, as part of a larger package, or even used to facilitate a three-team deal remains to be seen. What's clear is that both parties seem aligned in their desire to resolve the situation amicably and constructively. For now, Civale continues to take his turns in the rotation. He's not checked out, and sources say he remains engaged with his teammates and coaches. He understands the business of the game and isn't trying to force the Brewers' hand. But the request is on the table, and as rosters shuffle and injuries pile up around the league, interest in his services will likely grow. When the trade happens, it will mark the next chapter in a career that still holds potential. Civale is not a flashy pitcher, but he's the kind who can stabilize a staff, mentor younger players, and deliver consistent performances when healthy and confident. A team willing to invest in those qualities might end up with a valuable addition to their rotation down the stretch. In the end, this isn't a messy breakup or a dramatic split. It's a mutual recognition that sometimes a fresh start benefits everyone involved. Milwaukee gets a chance to reallocate resources and possibly add talent for the future. Civale gets the opportunity to pitch where he feels like a priority and can contribute fully. The coming weeks will reveal how the situation unfolds, but one thing is certain, Aaron Civale's story in 2025 is far from over. Whether he stays or goes, the league will be watching to see what comes next, and whether this trade request becomes the turning point in reigniting his career. Civale has officially requested a trade from the Milwaukee Brewers, sending ripples through the organization and fanbase. The veteran right-hander, known for his control and poise on the mound, joined the Brewers with hopes of solidifying the rotation, but his role has become increasingly uncertain. Civale has reportedly grown frustrated with shifting responsibilities and limited consistency in his starts, prompting his desire for a change of scenery. Despite flashes of effectiveness this season, Civale hasn't found the rhythm expected of him. The Brewers, facing a critical point in their season, must now decide whether to accommodate the request or retain him for depth. Civale's contract remains manageable, making him an attractive option for pitching-needy contenders. Potential landing spots could include teams like the Orioles, Giants, or Red Sox, clubs that value veteran arms and need immediate help. Civale's experience and calm approach still hold value in high-stakes environments, and his market should develop quickly. While Milwaukee weighs its options, Civale continues to handle the situation professionally, staying focused on the field. Whether a deal materializes soon or not, the trade request signals a pivotal moment for both the pitcher and the Brewers moving forward.